welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Avengers Endgame again, because I forgot to mention some things in the last video in my attempt to keep it under 12 minutes. So, this is part 2. Let's just jump right into this. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen Endgame by now, but seriously, if you haven't seen it by now, literally, what else are you doing? Like, go see Endgame. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is Captain America's story arc, and I have my phone down here to reference it if I need to. So, the end to Captain America's story arc, I actually really liked it. It was a good end, nice sweet moment. After all the things he's been through, all the wars he's had to fight in, the battles he's fought, everything, he gets that happy ending, which, that is a good, sweet end, and I have nothing wrong. I don't have a complaint to Steve Rogers' story arc, the way it concluded. I do have one issue with it, though, and that is what they do is they pass the mantle to Falcon. I'm like, so this is just my opinion, and you can disagree with it, but I don't think Falcon should have become Captain America. I think Bucky should have. It just, I understand Falcon becomes Captain America in the comics, but seriously, in the MCU, I just think it should have been Bucky. I mean, you can't even say like, oh, well, in the comics it was this. It's like, the MCU isn't strictly based off the comics. It is very loosely based off the comics. Like, they changed a lot for the MCU. You can't say, oh, well, it's not like the comics, or this happened in the comics, so it's comic accurate. Like, they changed things for the movies. Not everything is going to translate exactly the same. Now, while this will probably translate over well, and I actually am still really excited to see where they take Falcon's character now that he's Captain America, I still think it should have been Bucky. But, again, all in all, his story arc concluded well, and I'm excited to see what they do with Falcon now. So the next thing I want to talk about is Hawkeye. So, at the beginning of Endgame, we get this scene where he's teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow. His sons are playing catch. His wife is doing, I can't remember what. But they all become victims of the snap. And this is I like this scene because it's a really good explanation for, A, why he picks up the mantle of Ronin after who knows how long, and why he goes on such a dark path until Natasha has a chit-chat with him somewhere along in the beginning of Endgame. This isn't a shock to me because I was one of the people who subscribed to the theory that that's how he picked up the mantle. His family were victims of the snap, but still, really good moment, and it explains a lot for his character going forward in the film and why he goes down again that very dark path. Anyway, on the note of that, Black Widow is the last thing I want to talk about in this video, and that is her death scene, which was really, it was actually really good. I was actually very surprised that they killed off Black Widow. I knew Iron Man was going to die because, like, again, I talked about why in my last one. Not only did I spoil it for myself, but it's kind of the only way his arc could end. But Black Widow's death kind of surprised me. I mean, when I think about it, after this film, I can't really imagine them doing much with her character other than maybe a solo Black Widow film. But in future properties, I mean, her arc was very heavily tied to the original Avengers, and that's kind of over now. That would mean half the original Avengers are gone. More than half, probably, because Thor's off doing his own thing with the Guardians. Who knows? I don't know what Hawkeye's doing. Hulk would be the only one remaining on Earth who's still probably going to do something. I don't know. Iron Man's dead. Steve's too old. I mean, I just didn't expect them to actually kill her off, basically. So, on the note of that, though, her death scene was done really well. I was actually, like, on the edge of my seat, kind of really curious, because, like, oh, was it going to be Hawkeye? Because I thought it was going to be Hawkeye, or is it going to be Black Widow? Because they kind of toss it with it. Oh, now it looks like it's going to be Hawkeye. Now it looks like it's going to be Black Widow. And I was genuinely, like, what's going to happen here? Which is kind of a reaction that's hard to get out of me. So, like, the way I see it, when a movie or a TV show can manage to make me feel emotions or cry or feel on the edge of my seat or excitement for what's about to happen, the movie is really good and has done something right. So, her death scene was done really well. A real shocker for me, honestly, but all around done very well. Those were really the only things that I had left to talk about. All around, the way they concluded all the characters' arcs in Endgame was great. I loved it. Endgame is an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and peace out.